Hey, what's going on, everybody? As- so it's like, all right, so welcome to Mindset Monday. Yes, it is sort of like that. Hey, we're going to be making shifts that can extend and how we do business now. I greatly appreciate you for tuning in. Um, and of course, on Facebook, Twitter, or I think probably coming on. But for right now, here uh, or or anything like that. So, or rolling. But this weekend comment, I was not today. Mindset Monday. What came to my mind? I was at first I was thinking about habits and just, how we continue to do the same thing over and over again. And then all of a sudden, I started thinking more about relationships and connections. And it doesn't necessarily mean in an intimate way, but more so maybe uh, in general, relationships and connections is different. All right. And so we're going to get into this. So hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully I don't have to do like this. But yes, welcome to Mindset Set Mondays. The reason why it's called Mindset Set Monday is because, wait, it's because everybody out there was working on, living and doing all these different things to get it paid. What are we doing with our minds? All right, how are we shifting our reality? How are we shifting the world? Because we're doing it every day, all day, with our thoughts, our energy, everything that permeates from our thoughts, the thoughts that come words, that come things, that come everything that exists in our reality. So, we're gonna do a brief dive. I'm not gonna help you along tonight. We're gonna do a brief dive into relationships and connection. So, if you have a comment, if you have a say so, you feel free to comment, make it part of the share with anybody that maybe sees this, or I just appreciate you. And if you are a viewer, then of course, if you're seeing this on top of YouTube, then I appreciate you. That's in, and look at your life. All right. Thank you. I'm doing this after the fact, but we're gonna just make sure the conversation goes smooth. It's as smooth as my lips should be. That's what I put on. All right. This is candy camera, okay? It's not as I continue to do. Hey, it's exactly what it needs. It's exactly what it needs now. Nothing rigid about this. Just want to make sure that we're shifting the mindset, part of the conversations, or at least bringing the thought form of what we should be thinking about, or just if just in general, we're just gonna shift the dialogue altogether. So, relationships versus connection. All right. So my idea, once I thought about this, I was like, relationships, they're similar to ships, right? You get on a ship and you know your destination. Okay? The ship even connects you to other places. All right. And that's the same thing with people that we involve ourselves with, or organizations, or alliances that we create. They create connections because they came from certain relationships, right? And even if that relationship lasted for a day, you might have just ran into somebody and they gave you some great information, right? Also, when you're dealing with ships and you get on a cruise ship, you could be going for 7 days, you could be going for a weekend, you could be going for 30 days, you could be going for 6 months. You could be gone for a year. Like people literally cruise out for a year. But if you're dealing with a relationship, of course, there's some people who have made it as far as cruising out for 40 and 50 years and plus because they just decided to weather the storm. And I think a great movie that's out right now that deals with ships, it kind of, I don't know, it just depends on what type of movies you like. But this movie in particular is called 1899. I think it was on Netflix. And it deals with ships and just cycling through the same things over and over again until you figure out what it is that you need to do different or finding that key, creating that relationship, remembering relationships, remembering certain things about what you should be doing. All right. So yeah, so relationships are similar to the ships, going on a cruise ship. You know, how long you get to create the dialogue of how you want to be in agreement with people, you know, what type of relationship is this going to be? What type of connection are we creating? You know, what the difference between, for me, the difference between relationships and connections, you could be anywhere in the world, might not talk to your friend forever, you know, but the minute they pop in your mind, it could be one of those things where it's like, oh, I was just thinking about you. And then they call you a few minutes later. Or it could be one of those things where, you know, you haven't talked to somebody in a while and y'all talk 6 months later like y'all was just talking yesterday. Like, those are connections, okay? Relationships, they take time to build. You might be in and out. You might meet somebody once and then y'all never text each other like y'all said y'all was gonna do. You didn't follow up with the call. You know, that's dealing with business or in general. You know, you could be getting something from somebody and they say, hey, come on and pick this up today. And, you know, you missed the appointment. Like, you know, building those different relationships. But relationships take time. Connections, you can make a connection as soon as you meet someone because somebody referred you to another person. You know, so it's a lot of dynamics when it comes down to it. But my analogy of it is dealing with ships. You know, how long can a relationship last, and do connections last that same amount of time? Because, like I said, relationships, okay, they have a destination. They have a destination. Like, where are we heading? What are we about to do? All right. That destination makes connections along the way, creates alliances along the way, puts you in different divine timing situations where you meet the right people at the right time along the way. Of course, along the way to that destination, you're going to run into certain storms. You're going to have to weather certain weather, period. You know, you're going to meet some strange people in between those connections, some faulty connections, some connections that just don't work, you know, but you can still be in relationship with either different people or that main relationship that you know, that most people aspire to have, you know, by having a partner. And even if you don't, you're still building out relationships one way or another. You're going to be building out relationships whether you're at work. You're going to be building out relationships with your customers. You're going to be building out relationships and connections through all these different avenues. All right. So let's see. I got a comment here. And if y'all happen to be on other platforms, right now I'm unable to see the comments from Facebook and Twitter. But if you're able to make your way to YouTube or whatnot, or just leave a comment in general on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you are, and I'll be sure to just make sure I display it just for the sake of, you know, having interactions. So, and I appreciate you all for tuning in. So I appreciate y'all for liking the video, sharing the video with anybody. This is Mind Shift Set Mondays, because we exercise everything else. So why not exercise our mind and think about the things that really matter, that we can improve on, improve performance, improve with the people that we're interacting with on a daily basis. This can go for business. This can go for regular personal life, intimate relationships, friendships, shipping. We are ship. Like, it's just ships, okay? and they build a connection. All right, so let me see what this is. So, ships transport goods or people, correct? Okay, so like the keywords, and I see what you're saying. So the keywords and I'm gonna display this. So the keywords in relationship dealing with relay is a group of people or animals engaged in a task or activity for a fixed period of time and then replaced by a similar group. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. All right, and then ship deals with transporting goods or people. All right, so like I said, when we are in these different dynamics, I think the main thing to know is that relationships create connections. All right, and let me just, sometimes you can freestyle, but let me just read my notes too, because I did make some notes. All right, above all, I'm going to write something. I hope y'all enjoying the cool vibes I got playing. Hopefully, can y'all hear me? Testing, 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 testing. All right, let's see. I mean, honestly, I honestly said what I needed to say. Relationships versus connection. Why? What, is it a versus anyway? Like, is there really a difference in relationships and connections? It is a difference. But one way that I see is the fact that relationships create connections. Now, you can go out here and create a connection, just off of going out. But if you're able to have a relationship that creates a connection for you, somebody like, hey, I need you to come over here, be here this time. And next thing you know, you're there and somebody else happen to be there that actually is doing something that can be beneficial to you, or you just make a connection in general. It doesn't always have to be about, receiving something or getting something from someone. It can just be enjoying a great time. Like, you can literally create connections by going to a theme park with your family, and then next thing you know, you're in line with people. Okay, you're in line with some random people, and all of a sudden, everybody is just enjoying that moment or whatnot. That is a connection. It may not seem like it, but it is. So it's just the little things that count. All right. Now, as far as how we need to look at this, relationships and connection, I think the bottom line is that we can actually, let me see. Right, definitely. So the biggest thing that we can bring together overall is that we need to start like being very intentional of how we're building the relationship. A lot of times we just out here just finagling and just winging it. When it comes down to meeting people, or because, and I understand why. So this is the part where where it segues into a whole nother destination, right? Like, we on the ship and there's this private room that's like, hey, you can have this conversation in here because we got some things we need to discuss. Because relationships, the way we interact with people can also be defined by the things that we've gone through in life as well. If you've had a lot of traumatizing events, when it comes down to connecting or being in relationships with people, then you may not be really too interested in getting to know other people because you're just like, nah, I'd rather be by myself. You become a hermit, all right? Or you may have just taken a lot of losses and you just like, nah, I don't want to deal with people anymore. So, a lot of things affect the way that we relate to people and that we connect to people. But my overall goal tonight was just to come on here for Mind Shift Set Monday. It's not going to be long-winded, and just put the thought in your mind of how are you building relationships and connections. Connections, you don't have to be there forever. It's just like being on a flight. You have a relationship with the airline. The airline is gonna make a connection for you. All right, they're gonna make sure that you connect from Atlanta to New York to Italy. All right, or you in Atlanta, that's a main hub. So the relationship you have with the airline is like, oh, we're gonna get you straight there. All right, so that's a destination. It's an airline ship, okay, and they're gonna get you exactly where you need to be. But those connections, right? Those can sometimes also be layovers from the final destination from where you're supposed to actually be going. That's why a lot of people don't like connecting flights. All right. So this is another topic. All right. So, however you're hearing this and however you need to take this in, reflect on it for yourself. I just wanted to make sure that we put it out here and we're going to keep building. So this is Mind Shift. Super. This is Mind Shifts that Monday. And I'll see y'all real soon. I really do appreciate you guys for tuning in with me and just going the distance. And one, that's a good thought as well. What do your actions reflect so you can enhance healthy connections? All right, that's a great question that we should be asking ourselves. Like I said, this live stream is something that I'm doing, but even with this, I plan on building out relationships and connections in a way where eventually, with leadingwhilelearning.org, we'll be able to present this information in a way that will help people build relationships and connections with their customers or with their employees or just in general in life with personal self-development, all right, about effective self-leadership. So what are we really doing? And that's a good one too. The relationships we attract are based on our relational behaviors, all right? So again, for everybody that tuned in, I really appreciate you. I know it's late. It's way past all of our bedtimes, maybe. There's some people out here actually about to get up and get to it. So if you got a chance to catch this, I appreciate you. If you didn't and you're on the replay the next day or a few years out, I appreciate you. And I'm about to be out. All right. And I'm going to send y'all out with some cool vibes. All right. Because they all right. All right.